We're back, people. What is up? Going over the combine today. The combine's happening right now, so I am watching it in the background so we can talk about things that are happening live. But I also want to break down some of the stuff that happened yesterday because I feel like yesterday people were kind of going crazy yesterday. They were testing off the charts. Like the linebacker group went insane. So I want to break down some of that. What it changes. I mean, at the end of the day, the combine is it's a piece of the puzzle. It's not something that should change your opinion drastically on prospects. But man, those linebackers went crazy. Sonny Styles, he was like a guy that I hoped for at 11. It feels like with how he tested, like very unlikely he's going to be there. Like that guy's an absolute freak. Oh yeah, the DBs are running 40s right now. Marcus Allen is up. But yeah, Sonny Styles had like a 9.99 RAS. Absolute insanity, like 43 and a half vert. 4.4 640, like at 6'5", 244, that's absolutely insane. So shout out Sonny Styles. Same with Arvell Reese. Seemed like the Ohio State guys really solidified themselves as top picks. And I think Styles has just won that. Like, I don't know, he's just one of the cleanest prospects in this class all around. Another guy who tested really well was actually Danny Dennis Sutton, the Penn State edge. And I'm a fan of his film. I think he definitely tested better than the athleticism he shows on film, but it was nice to see. Like his 3-cone was a 6.9, which is really good. And a lot of guys don't typically do this. Like if Sonny Styles would have had a 10 RAS if he didn't do the agility drills, because a lot of guys do avoid it. Like last year, Nick Emenwari, if he did the agility drills, he probably wouldn't have gone a 10 RAS because I don't think he's as good in those, like in the agility area. So I think that would have probably took it down. But I actually respect going for it. Top 10 player or top 5? He's a top 3 player in this class. He's probably, I would put him, for me, he's second after Caleb Downs. So I don't know where he'll go, but I think he goes like top 7. Or like, if that feels like very likely, guys, as legit as it comes. Lots of linebackers actually tested really well yesterday. Like Kyle Lewis, obviously a guy that I'm a fan of. He's kind of like a nickel safety linebacker hybrid. Obviously weighed in pretty small. He was 6', 220, but he had good vertical, good broad. He ran a 4.5 340, which is really fast for a linebacker. Had a good 10-yard and 20-yard split. He's a guy that I'm a fan of. Jacob Rodriguez tested well, which is huge because Dolphins have a good history with Texas Tech linebackers, and he didn't come in super small either. Like 6'1", 231. Like that's on the undersized, but if you look at it, like that's only like right below like the average, like the middle of the pack. Like it's a 4.94 grade out of 10. So it's not like it's insanely small height and weight wise. But he tested really well, which I think was huge for him because he ran a 4.5 740. His vertical and broad was really good, and he looked really good in like the on-field drills as well, which feels like it's a pretty big thing for him. And he obviously has the film and production pack to back it up. Charles Deming's running right now. He's like an FCS kid, and he's testing crazy right now at the corner. I haven't watched much of his film, but you can definitely see the athleticism just from just watching him. Bain dropped to 11. It's possible. I really actually do think that's possible. I think teams sometimes overthink prospects, and he did come in with pretty short arms. So I do think that is a possibility. I actually think he's more likely to go near 11 than go top 3. And Deming's just ran a 4.42. That's pretty good for him. Zachario Davis ran a 4.41, and he's one of the taller guys in the class. He's one of the plus 6'3" guys. Like Jack Kelly had a 9.83 RAS. Like the linebackers were going crazy. Jake Golday, the Cincinnati kid, he had a 9.84 RAS, and he is 6'4", 240, like 6'4" and a half, 240, and ran a 4.6 240. Really good vertical grades. I think I posted a highlight video of him yesterday. I'm a big fan of him out of Cincinnati. There's a lot of good guys in the class. Caleb Alarms Orr out of TCU. He's another name that tested really well yesterday. I hadn't even watched his film until earlier today. The film's fine. I'm not like the biggest fan, but he was another guy that tested really well. Same with Anthony Hill Jr. He had really good numbers. I expect the Dolphins will like him, probably more than I'll like him. But we'll see how he ends up. Dalen Everett about to run from Georgia. You guys have any players out there you guys saw? Yeah, D'Angelo Pons, 43.5-inch vert, bro. That dude is explosive. Absolute freak. Oh my god, Pons, bro. I posted a video on him today because I knew he would have a great combine. I don't think he's running today, which is unfortunate because like I think he's one of the guys that had a chance to run in like the 4.2 area. I would have guessed 4.3, but it would have had a chance. Brandon Sisse had good vertical and broad jumps. He's another one of those explosive corners in this class to keep an eye on. But yeah, just some names out there. Sam Roush came in big, 6'6", 267. He's one of the better blocking tight ends in this class. Max Clare was 6'4", 246. Pretty good wingspan, though, for his size. Dalen Everett ran a 4.38. That's big for him. I think Everett's... I don't know where Everett's going to go. He's one of the guys that I don't have a good pulse on, like, his, like, draft range. But I could see the Dolphins being interested in him. I think he has, like, a good combo of, like, tools and athleticism. Pons this year's Upton Stout. I mean, I think he's better than Upton Stout, to be honest. And I think he can play on the outside. I don't think Stout can play on the outside. But yeah, Everett's one of those, like, disruptive and press man, has some good movement skills. I think just technique needs some work at times. And I think his zone instincts are pretty solid, and I wouldn't be surprised he's better at zone at the next level. I would say Rivers is probably more like Stout. Just watching. What else happened? Malachi Lawrence, he had a big day. One of my guys in the class, he tested super well yesterday. Like he had like some of the best vertical and broad jump numbers. Also ran pretty well, and that was big. I'm trying to find his thing here, but that was cool to see. You know who actually came in? Avion Terrell's like size. He only came in like an inch shorter than Monsieur Delane, but weighed a little bit more and had longer arms. So I feel like Terrell should not really be knocked for his size, unless we're knocking Delane for his size, because I don't think there's that much of a difference there between those two when it comes to size. And I think both are potential first round, or should be first round guys. TJ Hall running. Didn't have the greatest get off there, yeah, 4.59. Looking at stats, Gabe Akis had 30 bench reps, which is good. One of my favorite guys. Strong player. And yeah, also like with some of the size things like Delane, Terrell, they do like if you look at Green Bay's history, they don't have a lot of his only taking Jair Alexander was really like one of the shorter like arm length guys that they took early on, and like not like super tall either. So at the corner position, so that'll be interesting to see. Like I think they're willing to take exceptions, but I do think they have like specific guys that they like. Well, let's see what Colton Hood's about to run. I think this is big for Hood. Press man corner, you leave on the outside. I wouldn't be surprised. Like I think 4.4 is good. Yeah, 4.45. Okay. There's also a lot of people that met with. I mean, I've seen a lot of reports of people that have met with the Dolphins. I don't think that matters too much. I think a lot of teams meet with a lot of people. So, looking forward to your mock draft of the combines. Oh yeah, that'll be fun. I wonder if the simulators will change much, like change rankings, because like they typically have Sonny Styles like ranked 17th. He should not go that late. When I got a cough, because Styles should not be there. Honestly, out of the guys that I'm like, they shouldn't be there, but has the best chance of being there is Caleb Downs for Miami that I want. Okay, Igbinosun running from Ohio State. 4.46, that's good for him. You know, he's one of those longer, kind of physical guys that you just need to run well on the outside. He's gonna be top 5 now, yeah, for sure. I mean, he should be. To be fair, before the combine, he should have already been top 5. Like, these are all like that athleticism showed on the film. Bain, Bailey, Maui Noah, Delane of this group who may be at 11. Are you asking me who will be there at 11? Or who has the highest likelihood? I would say Delane probably has the highest likelihood. Then I would guess Bane actually, just because the arm length. Then probably Maui Noah, then Bailey. I hope Bailey, because Bailey tested really well like running wise, but if you saw Bailey in the drills, like doing change of direction, you could see how stiff he is. I'm not a huge Bailey fan, like in terms of where he's going. Like I think Bailey's going to have a like good career. But I don't know if he's a great fit for Miami. And I think he's gonna be more of like a designated rusher early on in his career. And he's kind of getting bumped up just due to this class, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's just way gone before the pick, anyways. Is it to do? Well, let me check something. But yeah, any players you guys that we haven't talked about yesterday that you guys got excited about? Because there's definitely players I was excited about. I feel like people yesterday were testing pretty insane. I feel like there was not like many disappointing guys. Like a lot of the guys at like the bottom of the list, like still were like around average testing numbers. Like I feel like that's pretty unreal. Oh yeah, they also leaked the what's it called? They leaked those like grade like the team grades, and the Dolphins got number one again. Caleb Banks, yeah, he was gonna test like a physical freak. I think he's the type of guy that like if I was a GM, I would be like I'm gonna let someone else take the opportunity on him. Like he's gonna go probably earlier than I'd be willing to take him, so I'll let someone else take that risky pick. Um, but yeah, I would probably not take him. I actually don't love tall defensive tackles like 6'6" guys like that because it leads to a lot of inconsistency with pad level and leverage. I actually think the best like fit for a lot of like D tackles or edges are guys who have the weight and like the length, but like are actually a little bit shorter like than like in that 6'3", 6'4" range. I actually think that's where you find a lot of top guys. Hackerman said he thinks Hal will be very good and likes him the best far in that group. Hal. Cassius Hal? He also had super small arms like Ruben Bain, but that was also expected. Yeah, Jacob Rodriguez had a 6.93 cone. Really good for him. Kyle Lewis had under 7. If you had under 7, that's really, really good. Um, and Sonny Styles, it was like his worst test, but he still was like above average in that range. Well, let's see what Damani Jackson run. He's supposed to be one of the faster guys. 4.41, so he's probably disappointed with that. I mean, that's a good time. Dalen Everett, currently the fastest guy at 4.38. Chris Johnson, okay. This will be big. I think he'll be a 4.4 guy. 4.43, okay. That's good. I'm a big Chris Johnson fan, one of my favorite round 2 guys. Will Lee running? Ooh, I actually don't know what Will Lee's going to run. He looks like 4.52. That makes sense to me. Like, if you're low 4.5s, you can be fine if you got like the length. I think anything above like 4.56 for masses, but he is a like pretty like physical guy. Okay. Let's see. But yeah, I remember people like this is when like Jacob Rodriguez, the Texas Tech linebacker, like people were concerned that he was a little bit undersized, but also they didn't think he was a great athlete like on film. But when I watched him, I never got that feel watching him, and like he tested like an elite athlete. Like I always thought like watching him like, oh, he's a pretty good athlete at least. Like I never had those concerns that maybe other people do. I mean, he tested every drill. Like he didn't hide either because there's some people that were like high, like Anthony Hill Jr. I knew he was gonna run fast. I knew he was gonna have like good explosion grades. But like I have question about his stiffness and change of direction, but he didn't do the agility drill, so I was like, okay, that's kind of confirms those potential what I saw in film. Because usually when guys don't do something, it's because they're not going to do that great at it. How did Danny Dennis-Sun perform? He was like one of the top performers yesterday. Like he had some insane performances, especially at his size. He was one of the guys that was. I think he was the most surprising performance of yesterday. Because like there was guys I'm like, yeah, Styles gonna test well. That makes a lot of sense. Um, but I think he was a bit surprising in terms of his testing because he put up a sub 7 3 cone. Uh, had good numbers pretty much everywhere across the board. I don't have his numbers pulled up, but I know they were really good. Devin Moore running? Okay, he had a stumble. Let's see. Hmm. I want to see what Devin Moore actually runs here because he's one of the guys who has some nice physical tools to work with that uh, needs to test well because he has some injuries too. Um, but the film is good when he does play. And let's see, waiting for him to actually run here. Hmm. Taking for 4.55. Oof, not great. Zane Durant improved value. You know what it is? I think Penn State guys just always test well. They must have like good trainers because he tested well as well. But he's also someone that like I don't know if his values changed that much because I think that was kind of expected out of him. Like he was expected to test pretty well because he is more of like a penetrating athletic guy that has some inconsistencies on tape. Grayson Halton was another one that we expected like great explosion grades out of and like run fast, and he did. Halton's another guy I really like. Like I think Halton and Zane Durant are actually good fits for Miami. I think Halton's gonna get like go pretty high. I think Durant probably still stays in that same like mid round range if I had to guess. Um, but I think Halton is someone who I would not be surprised if he goes like early day two. But yeah, he's someone I like. Sorry, I'm a bit sick. Um, yeah, Cassius Hell had like apparently in like the rounding the corner passer drill, he maintained like he went over 14 miles per hour, the highest combine record. Which, if you watch the film, like that guy is really good with his speed rushes around the corner. He does a really good job of maintaining his speed. Let's see, Malik Muhammad about to run. I think this is pretty big for him. 4.42. Okay, I like that. That's good. What do you think of Proctor? Which one? Because there's a couple. You're talking about Caden, Caleb. Well, to be fair, I haven't watched. I know Caleb. I think Caleb tested pretty well. Caden, I'm not a huge fan of in terms of where he's being projected. Yeah, honestly, with how Malachi Lawrence tested yesterday, I think that was big for him because I think there's certain position groups it really matters for, and I think edge is one. Like your testing definitely matters a lot. They want elite athletes, and I think he's one that probably tested about as good as he could have, and people are excited about that. And he also has some good film, so he's probably going to go early day two now because I already thought of him like in that range anyways. That just confirms, and he's going to go pretty high. Caleb, yeah, I haven't watched Caleb's film. I do have him written down to watch though. Where is? Um, yeah, I literally have him marked off as need to watch. Chandler Rivers almost up. That would be cool. Trying to see that. Yeah, Malachi Lawrence had some crazy numbers. Yeah, Danny Dennison had a 4.6340, 1.6310 yard split, 39.5 inch vert. Oh, the guy just ran a 4.36 out from Missouri. Never watched him. A 10.11 broad and a 6.93 cone. That's insane numbers at his size. Those are insane numbers, even if he's a little bit undersized. Like that's crazy. Do-do-do-do. Um, But yeah, the official linebackers for yesterday is they had a 4.46 from both Reese and Styles, 4.47 for Caleb Alarms or the TCU kid. Anthony Hill was 4.51. I think I think Anthony Hill even compared himself to Edgerrin Cooper, and Cooper plays for the Packers, and I would not be surprised if the Dolphins quite like Anthony Hill. Here's David Bailey testing yesterday and some like change of direction. You can just see he's just stiff. He struggles to change direction, which I think is more important than just your 40 time for that position. Obviously, that type of drill, a little misleading, but the stiffness, the lack of ability to set an edge. I mean, he can set the edge a little bit in certain situations, but yeah. Third round, I'd be down to taking the hill for sure. I just think I've seen a lot of like first round, second round. Rivers runs a 4.42. Really good time for Rivers. If you're a smaller corner, that's like gonna be like they're gonna put you in the slot. Really, really good to run a 4.42 there. Like seeing that. Because I think, sometimes you get more known for being quickness, but that means like 4.42 might be able to hang on the outside. I didn't see what his arm length was, though. That's probably important. Yeah, here's the video. Sonny Styles vertical jump. This guy's insane. Oh, we got it in slow motion. I mean, yeah, that's an athlete. Yeah, Malachi Lawrence ran 4.53, bro, and he's not like small either. Like he's got pretty solid size for a DN. Like I don't think power's like a huge part of his game, but he's not small. Not huge, but he's not small. And then he tests like that, and I think he has good film. Like he's one of the better like guys at getting after the quarterback. I think in terms of creating pressure, has like really good cornering, like bend type ability, good hand usage. I'm a big fan of him. Let's see. Let's see. I think the last corner is running his first 40. Avery Smith, the Toledo kid. Watch a little bit of him. 4.54 out of him. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Zane Duran, Grayson Holland. Two guys that I think have like disruptive capabilities, more one gappers that I think, fitting within to Miami's scheme that I could see them really liking. And they just looked good. Like in drills yesterday, they looked good, running their 40s, just moving around. But man's a freak. Yeah. Yeah, Malachi Lawrence had a 40-inch vert and a 10-10 broad jump. And the broad jump record's 11 too. So like not even that far off the broad jump record, and he's doing it at that side. Like that's crazy. That was most of the prospects that I wanted to talk about. I mean, it's a commercial, so. Nice. Also, like when it comes to arm length, because I've seen this discussion when it comes to arm length, and some players I want to talk about. Wingspan does matter more when it comes to arm length. Like Ruben Bain and Cassius Howell had very similar arm lengths, but Bain's wingspan was like 3 inches longer, which is like a huge help. So that's something to also keep note of. There were some long arms, like Keldrick Falk or Kelly from UCF had 35 and 1/8 inch arms. Keldrick Falk had 34 and 3/8. As you know, I'm not the biggest Keldrick Falk fan. I wish we got to see him actually test because I think people talk him up as an elite athlete, but I don't see that elite athleticism on film. Like I think he's pretty smooth for his size, but I don't see like that burst and that flexibility that you want out of an edge defender. Um, but yeah, scrolling through all the tweets I liked yesterday just to remember. Yeah, Cashel at 30 and 1/4 arm length. That's really small. And then Bane had 30 and 7/7/8, so just under 31 inches. Like Peter Woods tested actually pretty small. He only weighed in. I don't think he even tested. But he came in pretty small, smaller than I think expected. But yeah, I think that was mainly everything from yesterday to talk about. But like the edge group and linebacker group that tested yesterday, like in general, and a lot of the D tackles, lots of high level testers. And I think, we've seen pretty good out of the corners so far. Really interested to see the safeties. I really want to see. Thieneman says he expects to runs in the 4-3, which would be cool. I love Thieneman. I mean, really want to see how McNeil Warren tests. McNeil Warren goes like crazy. Yeah, he's a Stephen Austin guy. He's like the one FCS kid that like could go like probably earliest out of the FCS guys. I've seen clips. You know what? Actually, let me find him. I literally saw clips posted of him on Twitter today. So yeah, like here he is, right here in the slot. Someone posted this on Twitter. I'll shout them out after this. You can see some explosiveness there. I think you see some fluidity on this clip, if I remember. Ability to get in and out of his hips or in and out of his breaks, go up, get the ball. But yeah, I haven't seen anything outside of this, so I don't really have a strong opinion on him. But yeah, he did put up some crazy numbers. That was posted by Real B Gavin, aka Brian. Oh, yeah. Any questions? Anything to talk about? Harry Davis just second run just did 4.44. Another good time out of him. Okay. I'm trying to. I also posted D'Angelo Pond's film breakdown today. Uh, Posted a lot of things the last couple of days, just because like prepared for the combine. I know people are looking it up. I did my Sunny Styles highlight video that I had posted like a couple weeks ago, and it's been up for weeks. It randomly got blocked today, so I think people were looking up Sunny Styles, and then it just got blocked. And it was doing pretty well for a highlight video. It's unfortunate. That's like my 4th draft video to get blocked. It's annoying, but it is what it is. Yeah, I might bounce out of here because I don't really have anything else to talk about right now. But certain edges, a lot of guys I like keep an eye out on. I think when it comes to these, Dundee did send me an interesting article about Green Bay, about guys. Who's the best guys we won't see at the combine? Like Landon Robinson, he didn't get invited. He should have, the Navy kid. But it was just like the trends of like the Packers they had taken, like size wise. Like there's some exceptions to the rules, but like guys at edge, they like bigger edges that are athletes. So like you're looking for, if they're gonna take edge early, and honestly, just in general too, this helps too, but mostly for early draft, looking at guys with like high relative athletic score that fit like they have a certain size threshold. They want guys plus 250, 6'3" plus 250, and then potentially even a little bit bigger than that. And then guys that have like good athletic traits. That's what they've typically taken early. Corners, they've had some exceptions of taking guys that are a little bit smaller, but I don't think they want super small early. Also, athletes as well there. Athletes will be good. Linebackers, there's not a huge sample size, but the two linebackers they have taken early were guys who were fairly big and athletic. Gabe Akis, that's one of my guys. Um, he did not do any like testing. He had the most bench reps though out of the edges. Yeah, Danny Dennis Sons, he's one that fits that criteria. Zion Young, I think, will fit that criteria for them. I see a lot of people saying Keldrick Falk as well. I actually wonder if they will like Keldrick Falk because I think he's a little more of a tweener. I think he's more of a 3-4 defensive end. Like, I just don't know if I see him as a great fit. They could like him, but I actually don't know if he will be a great fit for what Miami is going to do or what I expect them to do. I feel like he's almost too big and not explosive enough, but we'll see. I'm hoping they don't take Falk. Falk is like the most realistic worst case scenario for round one for me. Like, there's worst case scenarios than Falk, but he's the one that like feels like a realistic option that could be a worst case. Most other worst case scenarios are guys that, they shouldn't be anywhere near round one. Like, I actually think Falk will be a solid pro. I want to make that clear. Like, I actually think like there's some good things to break down about him. But for 11, that's no thank you. He's gonna be a guy that does his job for a long time, holding his own versus the run. But at 11, I'm trying to take a true difference maker as a pass rusher, and I just don't see anything as a pass rusher right now, and I don't see the upside that people are talking about either. Like, the upside is that he's young. But yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get out of here because I am sick, but thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time.